What's up, Psychonauts? I want to talk about hallucinogens. Not just any hallucinogens. I want to talk to you, would-be psychonauts out there, and kind of help you ease into your hallucinogens or, psychedelics. Basically, the way I look at it is that there's tiers because there's so many different types of hallucinogens, and they all are similar but still are different in their very own and unique way. The way I look at it is you have first tier, which is your first step, the induction into your psychedelic journey, and that is with psilocybin mushrooms. Psilocybin mushrooms aren't dangerous. You can, it's the only real way they can be dangerous is if you misidentify one, if you were picking it in the wild, which I don't recommend because you can mess that up pretty simply. You should grow your own if that's what you want to do, or buy them from a trusted friend, but they for the most part are exceedingly harmless. So that's a good entry step in with psilocybin mushrooms. There's lots of different types of psilocybin mushrooms, and they're all very similar but different in their own way, just like other hallucinogens. But that's the good way to ease yourself into the water, dipping your toe, if you will. From that stage, you can move up to mescaline containing cacti, like peyote and San Pedro and the Peruvian torch. Mescaline's a little different. It's more heady and body buzzes. Heady and a body buzz. You still get visuals, but they're a little less pronounced than, geometric shapes and amorphous shapes that you see crawling all over every surface. You can pretty much look at my shirt here and you can just imagine like a film of this shirt scrawling over every part of your walls as they slowly breathe in and out. That's pretty much your hallucinogenic trip. Mescaline can be dangerous because parts of the cactus can make you sick if you ingest those, which you're gonna probably throw up if you take mescaline. The worst part about it is it is actually a drug that you can overdose on, especially if it's synthetic mescaline. So you got to be very careful with mescaline when you're dosing, because too much and you might fry yourself. Once you're done with mescaline and you feel that you are fully mentally prepared for the next step, you can move up to LSD, lysergic acid dithylamide. It's largely harmless, but like I said, in the wrong dose, it can really mess you up. I mean, we're talking bad stuff here, like psychosis and pretty much the worst kind of insanity that you can bring onto yourself, which is not something you want to do. So you got to play it safe with your doses. Remember, micrograms are the threshold dose, so that should tell you that it's pretty strong. And if you take LSD and after that, if you feel that your mind is not significantly expanded, then you can move on to the last and best tier, which would be DMT. I'm not going to say salvia because salvia is just an uncomfortable trip for me. You got to do it in a very certain kind of location with friends in order for it to be pleasurable, and every time I've ever done it, it's been horrible. So when you move up to DMT, you also have to be careful because DMT is the end-all be-all hallucinogen. It's like going to another realm, and that can be dangerous if you're alone or you don't have, a trip sitter or anything like that. So bear in mind that when you do hallucinogens, the safest way to do any kind of hallucinogen is to do it in a safe environment with people that you trust. Never ever do hallucinogens with somebody that you don't know that well or somebody that you don't trust, because you're fairly susceptible to a lot of stuff under the influence of these drugs. So just be careful with them. Everybody, has their own way of expanding their mind and consciousness. This is a way that a lot of people do it. Some people meditate for hundreds of years to be able to reach that point where their mind opens up to them. And these drugs are kind of a shortcut, and they're not to be abused because you really don't want a fried brain. You really don't. And these things can drive you crazy if you abuse them or just do too much. So remember, vitamin C is always helpful. Drink plenty of water, and make sure you're in a safe and secure environment with people that you trust. Just be careful out there, psychonauts. All right? Thanks for listening.